Welcome to New Hampshire's Business. I'm Fred Coker. New Hampshire had a housing crisis before the pandemic, and that was reportedly a housing deficit up to 20,000 units, median home prices over 300,000, and a median rental housing cost of over $1,300 a month. What does it look like now? With high unemployment and homeowners and renters unable to pay rent and mortgage at times, with landlords still on the hook to pay the costs of their properties. Here is some data released by New Hampshire Fiscal Policy Institute this past week. This is U.S. Census results for New Hampshire since March 13th. Loss of household income, 49%. Expected loss of income next 4 weeks, 32%. Did not pay prior month's rent or mortgage on time or have no confidence they'll pay on time this month, 16%. And sometimes not enough to eat over the last 7 days, 6%. Those are sobering numbers. With me to talk about the housing component of this is the Executive Director of the New Hampshire Housing Finance Authority, Dean Christian, and the Housing Project Director for New Hampshire Legal Assistance, Attorney Elliot Berry. Welcome to you both.
Hi, Fred. Nice to be here.
Nice to have you here. Dean, your agency is in the business of helping create affordable housing in the state of New Hampshire. Do you have a handle yet on the impact of COVID?
Sure. Well, it is still kind of early, Fred, but we know that most renter households have incomes that tend to be lower than homeowner households. And as you pointed out, we know that vacancies in the rental market were very low. Rents were pretty high. A lot of people were rent burdened going into this situation. And we know there's been a lot of economic dislocation, a lot of unemployment that's impacted particularly people that are in service jobs and retail jobs and hospitality jobs, which tend to be folks who are renters. And so it's very likely that they're more heavily impacted by this economic dislocation as a group than other groups are. So we are concerned about the implications of this as we go forward for their ability to pay rent. And some of the numbers we're seeing so far are rental delinquency rates in the 10 to 15% range. That's probably not as startling as people would have thought it would be. As a national sort of phenomenon, but I think it's being mitigated by the extra unemployment, by the stimulus dollars, those kinds of things. And if they go away, unless those folks regain their employment, there are some real concerns about what happens after that.
Elliot, your organization provides civil legal services for low-income and elderly New Hampshire residents. What impacts are you seeing in housing right now? Do you think it's going to lead to homelessness, more homelessness?
Absolutely. I mean, right now, it's the classic calm before the storm because of the eviction moratorium, other than a drumbeat of people who are getting tossed out of motels and hotels and rooming houses in which they've been living. Other than that, there have been no evictions thanks to the governor's moratorium. Over the last 3 years, during very good economic times, there were over 7,000 eviction cases per year. And again, that's in good times. So even if you take the 7,000 and condense them into 6 months, that's going to be an enormous burden on tenants, on the courts, and on the homeless services providers. What's more, obviously, is it's likely to get much worse because these are now catastrophic economic times rather than good economic times. So we're looking at a surge in evictions, the likes of which we've never seen before.
Where are we going with housing? What's going to happen?
Well, I think it depends a lot on how we respond to this immediate challenge and also how quickly the economy recovers. There will probably be some structural changes in the way people think about housing. Probably an increase in people's interest in things like accessory dwelling units, so that their senior parents or their kids can live with them if necessary during tough economic times and also for health purposes. But I do think we're going to see some increase, certainly, as Elliot has pointed out, in housing insecurity for lower income renters. And we're going to probably see an uptick in foreclosures as this evolves. Interestingly enough, in the short term, the for sale side of the market has remained very strong. And I think that's really been a function of that extraordinary low inventory of homes for sale. And so people are still buying what homes they can actually access.
One of the things that I think is really important to point out, both the governor's office, the Gopher process, and the legislature are giving very serious consideration to devoting a significant amount of the federal money that's come in for eviction prevention, which can do two things. It can obviously help tenants pay their rent, but secondly, and every bit as important, it will help landlords pay their mortgages. It's a classic win-win. And so I think we can really have an opportunity to stabilize the market if a significant amount of money can be devoted to preventing this tsunami of eviction.
My thanks to you both. Elliot Berry, who is the Housing Project Director and attorney at New Hampshire Legal Assistance, and Dean Christian, Executive Director of the New Hampshire Housing Authority, Finance Authority. Thanks so much. It's going to be, your roles are going to be very important in the next many months.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you, Fred.